Okay, so with no One Piece chapter to review this week, I still wanted to give you guys. I still felt I wanted to give you guys something just to kind of fill that gap between when I review Dead Rock tomorrow. But and yeah, as you can see from the title of this video, I'm talking about something I don't normally talk about, which is Reincarnated as a Slime, specifically Season 3. Now, before I get into the details of what this video is about, I do want to set the stage. As far as how I fit into the fandom of Reincarnated as a Slime, I am an anime only watcher, but there is a weird caveat to that, which is that despite being an anime only watcher, I do still engage in the conversations on forums and whatnot with light novel readers. Luckily, the ones I do talk to are the ones who keep it relatively spoiler free. But they still give me an overall expectation of what to expect with every season. And with that said, season three has season three with it over and done. It was definitely the most controversial season of the anime to date, because that first 13 episodes was obviously very what the fuck happened here. But now for me personally, I didn't now again, that context of me engaging in discussion with light novel readers, it is important to understand, because one thing a lot of light novel readers did kind of warn me about with season three is that this season in a way was doomed to fail. That very first chunk was going to be nigh impossible to adapt. It, no matter which direction the studio, the animation team, no matter which way they took it, it was going to be kind of wonky, no matter how they adapted it. And unfortunately, this is where it's going to get into the unpopular opinion, unpopularity part of my unpopularity part of it all, because I'm sure a lot of people have already heard this from light novel readers, that it's the light novel's fault, not the anime's fault. And it's I have seen a lot of it get a lot of the discourse and discussion around this particular topic has at least has become a little obnoxious for some people. But the truth is, they're kind of right. After I was warned about season three, I I went ahead and I did. The light novel readers did kind of point me in the direction of a little of where to start in the light novel to kind of get a vibe for what that first part of season three was going to be like. And the thing is, they're not wrong. The light novel, where season three how season three starts in terms of the story in the light novel, like the beginning, the chunk where what happens after Walpurgis is a chonky arc. And as it's been made no secret, part of the reason for that is because the author had after the Walpurgis arc, the author had decided to go in the direction of focusing completely on a geopolitical angle of the story. And as you can tell from those very first 13 episodes, it kind of failed spectacularly, and it's not much better in the light novel. Again, those 13 episodes are being adapted from a very, very heavy, very chunky arc. It's almost one of those arcs that is kind of impossible to adapt. And the strangest fucking part is the anime still kind of streamlined streamlined down to the best parts. As weird as that fucking sounds, the the anime still gave us the most streamlined version of what was in the light novel. So just kind of ponder and think about that for a minute. Like the stuff we got is still a better adaptation of the is still a little bit of a is still a more digestible is still more digestible than what was in the light novel. That's again a little bit of a scary thought. Now, the question from this comes: how did this happen? Like, why exactly did the author choose to go this route? And I think if I had to take a guess at it, I think the reason as to why the author had chosen to go this route, even despite this very first chunk being a very not great part, is because it's that very classic thing of an author questioning, okay, after the Walpurgis arc, I think the author questioned, okay, where do I go from here? Because I do believe the author was kind of in one of those like writer block crisis moments where they say, okay, if I keep doing what I did with Walpurgis, I'm just gonna go repeating the same thing over and over and over again. So how do I switch it up? And I think for the author, they felt going down that sort of focusing much more on the geopolitics of the series was probably the only route that they could feel was the route to go forward. That's what I have to believe anyway was what happened here, and 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 now of course as we saw just from that first 13 episode chunk, um, it wasn't it wasn't their first attempt at this was very again it was questionable to say the least, and but then the 13 episodes but then the episodes after it started to pick up more steam. And yeah, so like I think honestly when you just get down to it, even though I'm probably not saying anything people probably don't already know just from watching season 3, it is very much that thing where it's like that first big arc after Walpurgis was basically just a first attempt at this kind of storytelling, and it just failed miserably. But after that, the author kind of just took what I think worked, what didn't, and just kind of found the way to kind of work it much, and just found a way to kind of and just found the path that in order to make it work. Because the thing to understand is, yes, we are going to get, and that's I think the reason as to why I'm making this video too, is because you need to understand we are going to be making a lot. We're going to be getting a lot more of this, geopolitics in this series. But again, the second half is much more of a baseline of what to expect going forward rather than the first half. Like the first half was fortunately just a bump in the road that was caused, but by an author who didn't entirely know how to handle this type of storytelling. But by the second half, they found themselves in a groove of it. So again, I know I'm not saying anything new, but it's like I know there's going to be a lot of discussion around is season 4 going to be the same of like what the first half of season 3 was going to be like, and from what I understand, no, it is not going to be like what the first half of season 3 was like. It is very much going to be it is very much going to be a little more along the lines of what the second half of season 3 was like. So if anyone's going in of season 4 being like it's gonna be a lot like that, no, it's the author after this point had found their groove, and they found a way to kind of incorporate what worked, what what didn't, and just like and found the right path to go. We're still going to be dealing with a lot of the like a lot of the villains, but a lot of the villains we saw, a lot of the villains you saw like that old dude and his granddaughter. They are like the main villain beyond this point apparently, but again much more developed. But yeah, guys. I know this is kind of an off the cuff video, kind of just getting all my thoughts out. But I just thought I'd kind of make this video just to kind of get my own thoughts out there, because I'm not gonna lie, season 3 did leave me with a lot of those feelings that again a lot of light novel readers had warned me about. But again, I will say too, because I was warned beforehand, I think I didn't hate the first half of season 3 as much as other people did, but I know there's a lot of people who did hate that first half of season 3 too, so it's like I thought I'd just kind of give my perspective on it too. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight Valley signing off. Later, everyone.